Welcome everybody. Today is the first video I have ever recorded on my phone. Recorded and edited as my computer is not up and running yet. I have moved officially to Maine and I'm waiting on a piece that will allow me to connect to the Wi-Fi before I can start posting videos again. But I figured this is something that cannot wait. The dev blog came out, Commander Skills, Equipment, and Consumable Update. The details, and guys, let me just say that this is absolutely insane what is going on. World of Tanks is returning to what it once was. We are going from an extreme DPM, not deficit, but the other way around. There's too much DPM in the game. More DPM in the game than there has ever been before. And with these new crew skills and crew skill nerfs and equipment and such, DPM is actually going to be less than they were. It was back when crew skills and equipment were first introduced into the game. We're going to have less DPM than we have had in the last 11 years. Absolutely crazy. And so we're going to be taking a quick look at it. Crazy stuff going on. Cold War, you get spotted now for 10 seconds instead of 5. And the proxy range is no longer 35 meters, but 50 meters, meaning the Weasel and other sneaky light tanks and tank destroyers like that are going to be just a little bit easier to spot in Cold War. Cool. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for the commander skills, the equipment, and the consumables, and they are insane. Let's get into these right away. Sixth Sense is going to be a default ability for all commanders. As long as you have a commander in your tank, you're going to have Sixth Sense. Wonderful. That's what I assume they mean. I'm hopeful that it just is on every tank no matter what, even if you forget your crew. Who knows? I don't know. New skill, ATGM Expert, increases the turning speed of ATGMs, so you can hit people a little bit better. Radio jamming, this one's a really good one for your light tanks. 3-second decrease to your spotted duration time. So in your light tanks, you're now spotted for 7 seconds instead of 10. And your tank destroyers, sneaky tanks like that, very helpful skill to have on those tanks. Pyromaniac, external fires you start with your flamethrower do 50% more damage per tick. Just an all-around buff for your flamethrowers. Everyone's going to use that, especially on the Senjutsu. The Senjutsu, which is already one of the most powerful tier 8s, is going to be more crazy than ever. New skill, 25% increase to velocity of unguided missiles or unguided rockets called Rocket Scientist. So your rockets in World War II are going to be a bit faster. Rocketeer, 1 additional rocket boost on applicable tanks, and 25% increase to rocket thrust and engine power on applicable tanks. Wow. So your boosted tanks are going to be even better with that. Return skill, Jack of all trades. Thank goodness. Why they got rid of it, I do not know. The penalty for a wounded crew on performance is reduced by 25%. So this is very nice to have on tanks that lose crew members a lot. I know you can get your crew member back every minute thanks to, your med pack coming back every minute. But in between, if you lose 2 crew members or you lose a crew member right after repairing a crew member or fixing up a crew member, this is very helpful. Adrenaline Rush and Last Stand are getting combined, which is crazy. 15% increase to gun reload speed and 25% increase to commander's effectiveness when under 10 HP. Quite an interesting buff or change. They're going to put those together. I'm definitely going to take that on my Tortoise. But I think that it should have been changed to not be as drastic of an increase, but to begin at 25% health. You know what I mean? Something like that. But that's fine. They did what they did. Comms Technician and Marked Target are being combined. And so now it's going to be Comms Expert. 30% increase to radio range and 3 seconds increase to the duration enemy vehicles are spotted. Meaning you can spot tanks and your light tanks up to 13 seconds long, which is huge. Of course, if they have that radio skill on their tank as well, then it's going to be back down to 10 seconds. But this is definitely something you want to have on many of your tanks. I already have it on most of my tanks already, or at least Mark Target. I'm definitely going to be using that more and more as well. Next is firefighting and fire prevention. They're going to be combined. 10% decrease to fire duration and 30% decrease to chance of internal fire. Fantastic. Grab that, take it, put it on your FE-25V, put it on your Russian medium tanks, put it on your your Chinese medium tanks, and you're going to be doing a good time. Next, Expert Gunner. This is really cool. It is combining Deadeye, which is one I use, and Iron Mace together. So 6% increase to the chance of damaging crew and modules with non-HE shells. And 25% decrease to the effect that distance has on shell penetration. That is really good, especially for your autoloaders. Very good skill right there. Definitely want to be using that. Controlled impact and trick driving are being combined to dynamic driving. 20% decrease to ram damage to self, 20% increase to ram damage to enemy, and 30% reduction in fall damage. Very cool. Put that on your fast tanks that you like to ram in, for sure. Safe stowage is getting a buff. 25% increase to ammo rack durability, which already existed, and a 50% reduction to reload penalty with damaged ammo rack. So in other words, if your tank takes 10 seconds to reload and you get ammo racked, instead of it being 20, it is going to be 15. That is nice. Snapshot is getting a nerf. Hallelujah. 12% increase to accuracy during turret rotation is being changed to 10%. Nice. Camouflage expertise. The 10% increase to camo factor is being reduced to 4%. Less camo all around on a bunch of tanks. That is massive and awesome. Off-road driving is getting a bit of a nerf. Interesting. Let's see here. Instead of 15% increase to handling on soft terrain and 7.5 on moderately soft, it is simply a 7.5 on soft and medium terrain across the board, but you don't get the 15% anymore on soft. It is 7.5. Okay, fair enough. Next, huge nerf. Born Leader, aka Brothers in Arms, going from 10% increase to skill effectiveness and crew performance down to 5%, which is what it used to be when it was Brothers in Arms. Yes, let's go. Huge change, wonderful change to see. Rapid loading being removed. Never existed in the game before, shouldn't have been there, it's gone. Every tank is getting its DPM decreased by almost 20% thanks to this being removed. 20% CloneGuy, it's only 10%. Yes, but you have to remember we also had 10% with Born Leader, we had 10% with food, then we had another 5% when you activated food, and that all adds up. It's insane. And then you could throw on ventilation as well, and that also increased rapid loading. Oh, up to almost, I think it's somebody said something along the lines of like 22%. Absolutely crazy what rapid loading did. That's gone. Steady aim, same thing. 10% increase to accuracy being removed, which is basically 20% accuracy being removed. Across the board, how the game should be. You should not be snapping your shots. You should not be hitting your shots in your derpy heavy tanks. There is a balance. People are like, shots should hit more. Shots should hit more. No, that is not the game we play. The game is balanced around RNG. It's balanced around, okay, I have a small gun, but a fast-firing and accurate gun. Or I can use this big, derpy gun that misses some of its shots. Therefore, it's not quite as effective as running in and DPMing someone down. So I might want to take my time. Like, tanks were balanced around that. That's the thing. The IS-7 is not supposed to hit every shot. The E-100 is not supposed to hit every shot. The FE-215B with 400 alpha damage is supposed to hit more shots than not. Now it has 440, and so it kind of defeats the IS-7s, like what the heck. But that's how the game was supposed to be played, and they changed that, and they're finally bringing it back. Wonderful. Muffled shot is being changed to equipment option. That's the improved shot camouflage factor by 15% after firing. Same with silent driving. No longer will it be a 55% decrease to your camouflage or increase to your camouflage while driving. It is going to be an equipment piece as well. Wonderful, wonderful. Love to see it. So now you have that option, and you're going to have 4 equipment slots, so keep that in mind. So that's also going to go toward that. Moving on, enhanced targeting info. Outline target and show penetration chance is going to be the default ability like it was before in the game. Duh. Flash hider improves shot camouflage factor by 35% when shooting. That's what we were just talking about. That is equipment piece. And equipment low noise exhaust system, which comes straight from PC, which is a crew skill here. Now it's being converted to an equipment piece straight from PC. 55% decrease to the effect of driving on your tank's camo factor. Wonderful. So we are also taking a step towards PC and a step towards what console used to be. Those are 2 fantastic steps. New equipment. Cooling jacket decreases the overheating penalty by 25%. Don't care. That's Cold War. I don't use it. Returned equipment camouflage net reduces tank detectability while stationary. Activates after 3 minutes of standing still. Does not stack with improved concealment, which is a piece that exists in the game already. So what it does is up to 15% in Cold War, up to 15% in World War II, 10% camouflage on lights, 10 on medium, 5 on heavy, 15 on tank destroyers, 5 on artillery. Just like the old days. Return equipment binocular telescope This gives a 15% bonus to spotting range when the vehicle is stationary. Activates after 3 seconds. Effect does not stack with coated optics. Coated optics. They're bringing that name back as well. This used to be a 25% bonus. They've changed to 15. I think that's fine. That's okay. Less view range means less tanks being spotted all the time, meaning longer games. A very small percentage that's going to affect, but it's still going to affect that. Engine protection, reinforced ammo rack, and reinforced fuel tank are all being combined, which I think is massive. It was difficult to justify taking one of these when anything else could be damaged. They're putting them all together, called reinforced internals. Increases engine, ammo rack, and fuel tank durability by 50%. Huge piece. Definitely going to be throwing that on many of my tanks. Along with that cruise skill, the FE2 and 5B will just never get set on fire. Absolutely crazy. Gun stabilizer. Increased gun accuracy by 20%, but the description read, improves shell accuracy while moving, vehicle movement accuracy, turret rotation accuracy, 20%. Both of them. Now only affects accuracy during turret rotation and movement. Improves shell accuracy while moving. What? Vehicle movement accuracy plus 20. Turret rotation accuracy plus 20. That's the same thing. Oh, it increased 20% across the board. Oh my goodness, that's right, it did. It increased your accuracy even while standing still. Or decreased it. Improved your shell accuracy. Now it only affects you while you're moving. That's huge. That's huge. That's how it used to be and how it should have been. Amazing. Next, advanced armor reduces damage received by 5%, is now armor hardening. Again, a PC cruise skill or equipment piece that increases hit points by 5%. Another step towards PC. Huge. And the last one, again, gun stabilizer, or vertical stabilizer, however you want to call it, is going back to how it was. That's huge. Then advanced gun lane drive is being changed just to gun lane drive, like it used to be. Aiming speed increased by 10% instead of 12, how it used to be. That's huge. Advanced concealment is being changed to improved concealment. And instead of, oh my gosh, it used to be 30% on tank destroyers, it's now 7.5. That's huge. Those weasels, finally. But moving down to World War II, and you can't stack this with camo net, so use one or the other, guys. You could use both. Yes, you can use both. But once you stop moving and your camo net activates, this goes away. So you could technically still use both. They just don't stack with each other. So this is still an option. But your tank destroyer has 7.5% camouflage. Everything is half of what the camo net does. Everything is half, but it's always on, meaning you don't have to stop moving for it to work. Very cool. Awesome. Next, traction system being changed to additional grousers. They're just removing traction system because this just brings back what grousers used to be and how they used to work. These are going to be absolutely crazy to use on your IS-7, believe it or not. Instead of it increasing your speed by 10% and chassis and hull rotation speed by 10%, instead increases your hull rotation speed only by 7.5, but it also increases by 7.5 your handling on all-terrain types, which is very helpful for the IS-7. The speed, not so much on the IS-7. This will help your tank, especially IS-7, get up to speed sooner. Wow. That is nice. Excuse me. I just coughed there. I don't know if I will be able to figure out how to edit that out on my phone, but hey, what can you do? Spotliner reduces ramming and explosion damage received by 50% is changing. Let's see. Reduces ramming explosion by 10%, or 50% like always. Reduces auto pen damage from rotary guns by 100%, meaning you no longer take that little bit of 2 damage from the rotary guns. Like when the T249 shoots you and you're aiming 100 straight in the front and does 250 damage to you despite never penning. It's like, what the heck? It removes it completely. It has to pen you. I don't know why that's needed for an equipment piece. That should just be all across the board. If the tank doesn't pen you, it doesn't damage you. You know what I mean? But oh well. It also reduces module damage from ATGMs by 25%. Very helpful. Very helpful if you don't want to be ammo racked so much by those things in Cold War. Now, advanced loader is being changed to the gun rammer, back to how it used to be named. But the gun rammer reduced your reload by 10% back in the day. They have changed it to 5%, and that's what I mean. DPM is going to be less here on console than it's ever been since the introduction of crew skills and equipment. DPM has taken a 5% hit across the board. I mean, technically it's taken about a 25% hit when you include the change with the crew skills. But from the base game of how it used to be, it's taking a huge 5% hit. Crazy stuff. Enhanced missile warning. Name change only is missile warning system. Okay, cool. Advanced suspension. Name change only, reinforced suspension. Okay. Oops. Oh. I was watching Kaizu. Advanced repair system being changed back to the name of Toolbox. Advanced optics being changed back to the name of Coded Optics. Enhanced zoom being changed to high power zoom. Advanced powertrain being changed to the PC name of Turbo Charger. 5% max speed and 5% horsepower increase. Very cool stuff. Last but not least, consumables. Good stuff in here. Hull patch kit. Restore up to 20% of your health over 30 seconds instead of 5%. Healing rate halved while moving. Healing stops when vehicle takes damage. So find cover, activate that, and that's insane. Wow, that's insane. You don't just activate it and keep fighting it. You pull behind cover, you activate it, and you get 20% of your health back? Wow. I'm never playing Cold War. Advanced Hull Patch Kit. Restore up to 20% of your health. Wait a minute. Isn't that the same thing? Hull Patch Kit. Advanced Hull Patch Kit. It's exactly the same. Oh, here we go. Passive. 5%. Minus 5% chance of module damage. Okay, so you're spending 10,000 credits just to basically... Okay, well, that's useless. That's basically useless. Okay, moving on. Advanced fire suppressors being changed back to the automatic fire... Well, suppressor, not quite extinguisher. Extinguish all fires automatically. 10 seconds of fire suppression. 25% of minus chance of internal fire. That's pretty cool. So basically what the automatic fire extinguisher used to be. Why they changed it, I don't know. Smoke screen got changed. Launch 5 vision blocking smoke grenades instead of 3. Passive 1 second decrease to your spotted duration time. This is Cold War only instead of the 10% invisibility. Yeah. They are removing invisible tanks. You can still be invisible if you know how to use your mechanics, you know how to use bushes, you know how to abuse view range, that kind of stuff. The core mechanics of the game, if you understand how to use these things, you can still utilize shooting behind bushes, shooting behind trees, waiting for optics to be covered, stuff like that to remain hidden. But that is now a skill and a knowledge of the game in order to utilize, not just let me just throw all this on my tank and I'm going to outperform everybody. Wonderful. Game is going back, guys. It's going back. Whoopsies. My notes. Enhanced smoke screen. Oh, if we use the enhanced one instead of just the regular one, 2 seconds decrease to your spotted duration time. And there we go. And this is everything that they've changed just in like pictures. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. This is cool. Final thoughts. Work continues on the design, and we've been excited to see your feedback so far on the devs blog. We plan to continue posting these, so keep the feedback coming. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't sound like Wargaming to me. They're actually listening to our feedback. Like they are. This looks like going through this list, it seems like they watch the channel. Like we mentioned most of these. And this is what you really have to do if you want to make the game better. In fact, if you go and you watch my video, Wargaming, this will fix your game. This is basically what it is. It's insane. They're actually listening. Well, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I hope the audio quality isn't too bad, despite this being my phone. And I hope everything kind of works and you can see it and it's watchable. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait a week. My Wi-Fi adapter is coming in on Tuesday, and I'm not waiting for that. This is big news, and I got to get it out. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button. Comment on all this. This is insane. This is, other than the HUD, we are basically going to be back in pre-6.0. We are going to be pre-6.0. The gameplay is. Not the HUD, but the gameplay. My goodness. Gosh, golly. Now get rid of the Avery and the Tron, and we'll be doing great. and of course the Warhammer tanks. Whew. I need some water. I need something. But I'll be seeing you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.